Hello, my peaceful and profitable entrepreneurs. Happy Wednesday. It is so good to be here. So good to see you. I am a couple minutes late. I apologize. I had to get my kids some popcorn, more snacks to try to keep them occupied while we're doing this. I'm really excited. Today we are talking about what's stopping you from the results you want. Psst, it's not what you think it is. This is from me working behind the scenes with businesses for almost 8 years now. It's been a great journey. I can't believe it's almost 8 years, but this is just really important. And I have been back, it's the 16th, I've been back for like 16 days now. I've had lots of client meetings. I offer a free call. It's a 10K content strategy audit call, words. And I've had a bunch of these and had some really great calls and great takeaways. And so I want to bring some of that here to this conversation. This is a topic I picked months ago. I planned kind of all this out before I was gone in July. And it's funny how relevant it is. Like, this is so relevant. What's stopping you from results? It's not what you think. Like, everyone thinks it's something, but we'll kind of dive into that today. If you join live, if you catch the replay, we have a fun giveaway. I'm looking up the name of it because I can't remember. It's sales process, how to go from curious to paying clients. So this is something I sell on the website, but because there are a million places you could be, I love to give a freebie for someone who comments, ask a question. Like, I want this to be supportive for you. It's also fun for me. If you're hopping on, say hi, or any questions that come up now or on the replay, because I know we got lots of replays. So we will be giving that away, and it's all about creating a sales process that nurtures your potential client, because typically it's hard for someone to go from 0 to 60 just by an Instagram post. So this is just really a process. It's relationship building and kind of outlines it for you. So we will be giving that away. We will announce that on Friday. So you have until then, leave a comment, question, whatever gets you entered. So we're going to go ahead and dive in, pulling up my notes, because, I always have notes, or I will just be like, bird, like get distracted. So often, and typically I typically stray away from being like, this one thing, this is all you need, this is the one thing. But the mindset piece of this is that, like, this is kind of like a one thing that I'm just like across the board, stopping you from getting the results that you want. And that is thinking that you need more information. I hear this all the time with clients with the free calls. They're like, just tell me what works. Like, in their pre-booking form, they'll be like, for content, like the content strategy audit, like, I'm looking to see what works. And it's like, there's no like special template or like secret post, that's just going to like make your business blow up. And that is what I see so much with all this shiny marketing programs, group programs, all this stuff, is that people think that they can just like, if I just had this one thing, like, that would make my business blow up. And that is just not what I have seen to be true. And this is why I believe in one-to-one like so much, because this is the thing. When I say, like, this is the thing keeping you from the results that you want, and it's that you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it. Which I know people are just like, don't want to hear that. But I recently read the book The Road Less Traveled. He's like a psychotherapist. I don't remember. It's from like the 60s and the 70s. Kind of a dense book, but at one part he said, like, what great, amazing results people can get from this work together. But so many people stopped early because they just didn't want to do the work or put in the effort. And I'm not saying that anyone here is like that, and that you don't want to put in the work, or you don't want to be a successful business owner, or do what it takes to be a successful business owner. Because I see that end of the pendulum as well, where people are like, if I just work hard enough, if I just do this enough, if I just add another strategy or just keep doing this, like, it'll all work out. And it's not hard work. The thing is that will make you the most successful, to make you the full client roster, or make you the 10K that you want, is doing the thing that you aren't doing, and getting honest and looking within yourself and seeing, why aren't you doing that thing? So I'm not saying that you don't want to do the work. I am saying that the online industry, all the glitzy, shiny marketing, will have you believe that you're just one, program away from getting full or making 10K, or you're just one course away from whatever your dreams are, or you're just one template or freebie away. And that is just not the case, y'all. So I did some stats. Like, I did a poll in the group. I kind of did a poll with around people I know who are business owners in the online space. I have my own data that I can share in this as well, but I'll give you the stats for my polls. And I did the poll thinking originally it would be interesting to see, because I know people have bought programs and all this stuff, but I wanted to see like around what topics and subjects. So I thought that was what I was going to be looking for, but it was really so broad and all over the place. There wasn't a common theme, but I was able to get the data just to see like how prevalent this is. So the people answered the poll. 80% had done more than 4 courses or group programs. At least more than 4. 80%. Of those, let's see, didn't finish. Okay. For those that were polled, didn't finish half of all of the courses that they signed up for. Like just half of it they didn't finish, didn't do. One person said in her feedback that like she wishes she had tried to find her own way and realizes that like it may take longer overall, but it'll be better for her business long term. And I thought that was just such a beautiful takeaway, to just have that realization. And sometimes it takes investing and buying these things to really see that like it's like, you know, all these things, like the information is out there. How to grow your email list, how to like connect with people, how to get on sales calls, or how to curate your offer. Like all of this is out there and knowable. Like you can watch anyone's strategy and see what they're doing. So it's just like crazy to be like, they must have the secret. And it's like, literally, we're online businesses. Like you can literally see everything. You can copy my sales post. You can copy, you know, my funnel that when you enter, you can copy, like I do live streams. Like I'm not saying do all that. Like I'm not saying go do that at all. Just copy people and don't buy from them. I am saying that it is all out there. So if I'm sitting here being like, I have the secret that I'm going to sell you, like that's just bullshit, because you can just look at all my stuff online. You can see I show up here every week, that I have a Facebook group, that I send emails every week. Like you can just look at all of that. Like there's no secret to it. And that's the same with basically anyone online. So that's just like something I saw that was so interesting. And then like ChatGPT gave me some stats on courses as well. And one of them was completion can be as low as 5% and as high as 50%. So that's basically showing us that most people are not finishing a course, are not like getting what they hoped from it. Like it's kind of one of those things where like you're just so excited to buy something and your brain gets that dopamine hit and you think it's gonna like, you know, just solve everything, and then you get in and you're like, shit, I already know this stuff. Like, okay, you know, how to grow your email list. Oh, okay, I need to, you know, create a freebie and put it out there, and like all these things that you're like, I already know all of that. But like the thing is, are you doing it? And so that is my question today. That is like my one thing is like holding you back, is you're not doing the things that you actually need to do. And this is like no shame in that game. Like we have all been there. Our human brains try to keep us safe. Like that's just what we do. And so like, I don't want this to be like, oh, well, if you just did what you're supposed to, you'd be successful. Like that is not it at all. I am bringing this just as a conversation around, it's not that you're missing something. It's not that you're lacking something. If it's not, if you just knew one more thing or did one more course or had one more freebie or something, that you'd make it. Like that is just bullshit. So, you know, I get fired up about this topic. So that's kind of the mindset piece around it, is just being like, it's not like something out there. Like everything I need to be successful, I already know, and I just need to put the puzzle pieces together. So this is again why I love one-on-one. This is the only thing that I offer, is like one-to-one like this. You know, obviously I have the master classes every month, and we have like a couple low ticket items for sale, but like those are not my offers. Like that is not like my get rich quick scheme with the $27 thing. It's literally to nurture a relationship. So we're going to talk about the strategy piece. Sorry, stuff's popping up everywhere. So that's the thing I do with my one-to-one clients, is like, how do we get out of your own way? So I'm going to give you, I think I have 4 client examples, 3 clients and me. We'll just roll with it. So these are things I want you to think about in your own business. Like we're not working together one-to-one. I can't give you exactly information that is for your business, but I'm going to give you some examples of things I've worked through with clients, just to give you an idea of like, maybe you can relate to that, or maybe you're in a similar situation, or maybe you can like see how it's not the exact same in your business, but take that away and use it in your business. I want these to be really helpful. And I think client examples are really beneficial for that. So let me just see this first one. So, okay, this client wasn't selling. And like half of my clients are going to be like, she's talking about me. But this is a client who has a physical location. She sells a very high ticket offer, which FYI, all of my clients sell high ticket offers. Like they just do. Like none of them are just like the cheapest of what they do. They sell, it's like a luxury item. And they really are like, when someone comes into the physical location and sees it, like they are a yes. They're pretty much a yes before they get there already. But when they get there, it just like seals the deal and it's done. And so they kind of just didn't feel like they had to sell online. Like, once people got inside, they'd buy it, but it was like, no, we need to sell online. We need to start this relationship of selling and showing them why they need to come into the physical location and why because there's like 50 other places in Charleston that do the same thing. So we really need to sell with that. So it's like they knew that they needed to sell, but they weren't actually doing it. They have a lot of personal connections here. Like they know a lot of people. So a lot of it is through referrals, but they still just weren't selling. And so there was like some system stuff that we needed to do to just literally make that happen. Like they just didn't have the time or capacity to just like totally go out there and do all of it. So we've hired, like a VA. They kind of did their own batch of sales stuff, and now the VA is putting it out there. But it's been wild to see selling in the feed, selling in stories with links, like really going for it. And I didn't pull numbers. I kind of did these notes a while back, and I meant to pull numbers, but I don't have like an exact like when did this start date kind of thing. But we can just see like, okay, we have like a certain number every month we want them to hit, and just setting that intention and being like, okay, we are selling, and we can see that us showing up online and selling gives us the results that we want. Because so often, if we're not selling, it feels like our business isn't giving us what we want, and we feel like we're just checking off a bunch of to-dos, we're spending all this time, we're spending all this money, but we're not getting the results we want. And that's because we're not allowing the business to let it give us what we want. If we're not selling, the business literally can't give us money. That's just how that works. So even though they have a great product and people want to buy it when they show up, they weren't doing the thing, which is selling, to get the result, to get the revenue, to get the people into their building to buy it. So that's the first client example. And that just is, like I said, a bunch of clients will probably think I'm talking about them because it happens all the time. Like I literally ask them like, how often are you selling? And they're like, well, I don't really know what to sell right now, or I don't know how to phrase it, or we're kind of in between things right now. And I'm like, okay, if you're not selling a paid product, we need to at least be selling something, like getting people to your email list or getting to your group. Like if you're not actively launching or selling, you still need to be selling something in between to like build your audience. Even if you're not building your revenue, it's like building your audience. So that's the first client example. So another client example, he has a lot of my clients again have anxiety around money. This client had grown so much that their overhead was around 20 to 25K a month. And he just felt like he was missing something. Like every month he's like, I just feel like I'm missing something. And I'm like, helping him pull numbers from the profit and loss. We're pulling owner draws from the balance sheet to be like, okay, this is literally the amount you've spent in your business last month. And he just still feels like something's missing. And so my job is to like help him create safety, because I know that there are people out there with thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank and they still don't feel safe. So we're doing this kind of external, like, yes, we've got these spreadsheets. Yes, we're like literally looking at the overhead every month. Like we know what his overhead per day is, type of thing. Like all of that literal stuff, like strategically, how is he starting to pay off this debt? Like, what does that look like? And creating safety in his brain. That's like, safety has to really come from inside too, because we, as much as we want to control the outside world, we don't have as much control as we think. And so feeling safe and, regulating our nervous system and all that is just really what is like the key to all of this. So, I can show him that there's 20K a month of operating expenses and 5K of personal that ran through the business. So he does know how much he spent. Like this is knowable information. Whereas before we started working together, it was just like, he doesn't like looking at QuickBooks. He doesn't like looking at spreadsheets. Like he will literally just glaze over, and I have to be like, okay, let me pull back. this isn't like his area. Spreadsheets are my love language, but like I have to like get that from my clients. So really just seeing like showing him the numbers of like what he actually spent, and then also showing him the numbers of like his July profit. This is profit, not revenue. This is profit, like bottom line. It was up 322% from 2022 July. Like that is wild. If I would have asked him how he felt like he was doing, he felt like he was doing terrible. He felt like he was failing. He felt like this is the worst season he's ever been in. But I'm like, you're literally up 322% from this same month last year. And then his year to date gross profit as of June, like January to June year to date, gross profit. So revenue minus cost of goods sold was 52.99% up. So it was gross profit was almost up 53% for the first half of the year. That is amazing. That is wild. Like most business owners would like kill for those numbers, but still he's sitting there freaking out about money because he's just kind of looking over here. But I'm like, let's look at the whole picture. Like I totally hear you. I totally see you. Let's create safety. Let's create a plan, all of that. And I don't want to ignore that or brush it over it. And like your brain forgets, like you think it's doomsday. You think that the sky is falling, but like you are doing so freaking good right now. Like that is huge. And he just doesn't have that perspective. Like our brain sometimes just like forget how well we're doing, or we book a client and then a week later we just like totally forget. And like, I am there to like work with them on like these literal pieces, and then also just to be like, you're actually doing great. Like this is actually not that big of a problem. Like it might feel like a problem, so that's something we need to work on, but like let's look at the data, which is telling us you're freaking killing it. So let me see if I want to say about that. Another coach who didn't look at the data and didn't look at the numbers could have gone down a whole nother rabbit hole with him about, time blocking or looking at your bank this many times a week, or, whatever it is. But like, I'm literally creating safety with him in and outside of his body. So that's that example. So all of these things, like I wanted to bring, I think I skipped one. Okay. I wanted to bring examples that like none of these clients could have gone to a course and found this. None of them could have, purchased something online and had this brought to them. So that's why I just want to showcase some of these examples, because this happens every day in my business. Like the stuff that people bring to me, like if they tried to find the answer for that online, they would be screwed. Not screwed, but it would just be totally the wrong problem to solve, a waste of money and a waste of time. So another client I want to mention, she tended to jump around with her strategies. She very much had the shiny balls, business owner syndrome. Like she would see something, it worked for someone else, and she wanted to do it. So again, like half my clients will think I'm talking about them. So part of our work together was staying in a strategy and giving it time to work. So we were finding the breadcrumbs along the way. It's not like we were just going all in on a strategy and not looking at everything. Like we look at QuickBooks Online. We have GA4 set up with their website. I build dashboards on the back end. We also have some reports on Looker Studio that we're looking at. So like we literally know, like we have the data. Like so many coaches can't actually look at this with you. A template or a course or a spreadsheet or a, just group program is not going to go into your numbers with you. Like they're going to be like, oh, we need to redo your sales page, so hire a copywriter. But it's like, no, you're just not getting people to your sales page. Like no one's clicking your email links. Like that's the sort of thing that like we're literally diving into and digging into, because you could think it's like 50 other problems. You could think your sales page sucks and you hire a really expensive copywriter, or that your website sucks, or that, the landing page is just not right, when it's literally like maybe links are broken, maybe people aren't going there, or maybe people are getting there and reading it and dropping off. And that's where we need to see, oh, maybe we need to speak to objections. Like maybe it's confusing with the pricing. Like there's so many different things. It's just literally like the hose and where's the kink, and we're kind of troubleshooting each one. So when I say find the breadcrumbs, that's literally what we're doing. It's not like we're just doing this strategy 3 to 6 months and we're not looking at anything. Like we're literally every day, every week, not every day, but like, you know what I mean? Like we are constantly, in our sessions looking at this stuff. And it is so surprising. We also had a client who realized how many people, like referral partners she could have. Like all these websites were sending her traffic, and it was just like, snap, what a beautiful opportunity to build more relationships. So that's just like such a case that like no one online could have told you that. No one in a million years could have been like, this website with this domain is sending you 50% of your traffic. Not that high. It was like 20%, but it was still like a wild amount of traffic, and no one else could have told you that. So that's just something that I love seeing too. So with this client with a strategy, someone could have easily told her to jump ship. They could have said like, no, you need to do this, YouTube videos are the thing, or, Facebook advertising is the thing, or Instagram boost is the thing. Like, people could have sold her on a million different things, but we needed to see what was right at that time. And spoiler alert, there's always something in your business that like we need to solve for. Like, it's just how it is. Like, if you are growing, you're going to grow into new problems. You hopefully grow into a different problem, because if you're not growing, you're just going to have the same problem. So this is just like a constant science experiment that we get to play with. So now there's a new offer coming out, and now we're rolling it out in a different way, and we're kind of promoting it in a different way. So this will be so interesting for us to get the data and see, like, is she being consistent? Are we looking at the data? And, are we listening to the audience? Because those are the big things there. And that's something that like a course or a group program is not going to be able to like troubleshoot and go in on with you and be able to just sell you the answer. Last example. Okay, I've had lots of free calls recently, and I got on the phone with an amazing business owner, and she had kind of a hard month where she had gotten turned down like 5 to 7 times on best fit calls, and she was feeling really frustrated, and she was like, I just want to take this month off and fix myself and just update the pictures on my website. And I'm just kind of looking at her like, isn't the goal to get more clients? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, how are getting pictures on your website gonna get more clients? Like, and we had a laugh because it's funny, because her brain equated doing the website changes was working on the business. But it's not what's going to get our clients. Like, getting on the phone with people is what's going to get a yes. Even if she's a photographer, because I hear this example too. Like, well, if it's a photographer, maybe it'll be good for their website. And it's like, no, I've hired multiple photographers in and out of business. And there has never been a time I've gone to their website and just hired them from their pictures. I want to know what their personality's like. I want to know if they're within my budget. Like, there are tons of photographers in Charleston. Like, I want to make sure this person is the right fit for me. So I would never hire a photographer just based on the picture. So even if you are a photographer, it still doesn't apply. Like, yes, we want a professional looking website. It's fun to do the pictures. I'm not saying that. It is fun. But your brain is trying to trick you from doing the uncomfortable thing, which is get on sales calls, to do the comfortable thing, which is update your website. But that's not going to get your results. You're going to be over here updating your website for a month or two, losing momentum from posting or selling, and then you're going to be like, why don't I have any clients? Like, this is so frustrating. It's like, because you're not getting on the phone with people. And so like, that's the work that we were doing, is like, how can we make this like fun? How can we like get more information from every call, even if it's a no? How can we like, take little nuggets and just get better along the way? Because soon it won't be 5 to 7 no's. It'll be, 4 no's and 1 yes, or, that balance will start to tip. You'll hit that tipping point where then it's just like, well, everyone's a yes, because I've had so much practice and I know how to have a sales call or a best fit call now. So like, that is the work to do. And again, like, our brain wants the photos to be like the thing, but it's like the personal outreach and getting people on the phone and having best fit calls is what books clients. So those are my client examples, because I wanted to show you ways that like courses and programs don't suit exactly you or your business. Then there are also courses and programs out there that might just be teaching you things you don't agree with or that you're not aligned with. And I will give a personal example here. When I first started offering, call them advisory services, I now just think of it as coaching. A couple years ago, I paid $9,000 for a group program. It was taught by accounting men. They said charge $3,000 a month. They said hold your best fit calls this certain way, get payment on the phone. They said to charge the $3,000 and have 1 2-hour meeting a month. So that's what I did initially, and it just was not right. Like, collecting payment on the phone, holding the best fit calls the way they said it, like, it just, nothing about that was right for me. And even the way like my payment structure now, like now we have a lower base rate plus revenue share. We meet multiple times a month. They have all the support in between sessions. And now it's not just like they were teaching like, hey, here's some reports, here's some numbers. But like, all of my clients were looking at me like, yeah, but how do we increase profit. Like they didn't teach that. They're just like teaching you to like, look at these reports and look at this, special spreadsheets I made. And it's just like, that is not it. Like the mindset piece and the connecting with people is what people need help with to generate more revenue. So I changed completely what I learned in that program. I was even kind of afraid, not afraid is the right word, but for a while I was like, are they going to check back in and like see that I'm not doing it the way they taught me? And I wasted so much time. I wasted over a year trying to figure out my own way. Whereas if I just had a one-to-one coach right off the bat, I could have figured that out in like a month, maybe 2 months. I don't know, but I would have saved so much time and money. I haven't done the math. I think like a one-to-one rate for 6 months is around $9,000. So the money probably would have been the same, but like the level of support I would have gotten with one-to-one is like the best deal in my mind. Like I get so much support for one-to-one. Like I get it from my coach and my clients get it from me. Like that program, like it was like maybe a call once a week, but sometimes I had something else going on with my kids and I couldn't make it to the call. Like it just was not like, it was not personalized. They told you to do it this way. And I just spent so much time afterwards trying to do it that way and then having to figure out on my own how to do it. And like, I'm not discounting my journey. I think that was a great thing for me to learn. But just looking at those courses and programs and just being like, it might not be the right thing for you or your business. Like the way they do stuff might not be the way you want to do it. So that's another thing with programs. And I just wanted to bring this up. I have a new client starting next month that I'm so pumped to work with because she does marketing and she does run ads for people, but she's like when I say people, like business owners, she knows and she doesn't tell people to do ads if it's not the right fit. Excuse me. Which so many people that run ads, they're like, ads are the thing. You have to do ads. This is it. And she is doing more of like a holistic approach to marketing, which I love. And like, that just speaks to my heart so much. So I'm so excited to work with her. But like, she's not selling every client that she knows ads because she knows it's not right for every single business. So some people will tell you the opposite and that you should spend a ton of money on ads. And I say, just run in the opposite direction. Most of the people I know that come to me asking about ads, they don't have a funnel that works. They don't have unlimited capacity. And if they did have those things, or if they don't have those things, you need to have like a ton of money just to spend on data, and they don't have that either. So it's like either you have a bunch of money to dump and get fast data, or you need to have like a funnel that already works and unlimited capacity. And so ads for so many people, like it drives me nuts. New business owners come to me and they're just like, ads are the thing. And I'm like, you've literally done nothing organic. Like we don't get to skip this thing. Like it's not just like ads are the magic bullet. I'm not just trying to discount ads here, but like it's just not the magic bullet people think it is. So, and this kind of goes back to what I mentioned earlier. The next point I want to make is that, in the book, Road Less Traveled, so many people don't do that work because it's hard. And so I want to give my clients so much freaking credit because for them to show up and kind of take this longer, slower process, which is not necessarily slower. You can have a pop moment. You can build momentum and all of a sudden overnight, it's just like you're an overnight success. But it typically does take some work. It takes getting curious. It takes showing up when it's hard. It takes having vulnerable conversations. So I give my clients so much work because it would be easier to buy a program and just like not have someone really know your shit, or not have someone know that you are petrified of getting on video, or that you don't feel like you're good enough to sell your offer, or don't feel like you have imposter syndrome and you can just kind of hide in the group program or the course because you don't have to actually talk about that. So it's not actually easier because the program or whatever, you not dealing with that is going to slow down your results and you're going to be spending money that it's not getting you anywhere. But looking at your stuff can be confronting. I will tell you, I do it with my own coach. I check my shit at the door on my client calls because I have a coach and I am able to let it all out there, let out any not enoughness stuff, or a lot of the stuff I worked through at first had to be around selling. Like I was taught as an accountant, selling is icky, and that if you're a good accountant, you shouldn't have to sell. So I had to work through a ton of stuff. And so now I can show up so clean and sell and feel so good because I don't believe any of that stuff anymore. I think it's bullshit. think selling is a beautiful, wonderful thing. And so like my clients are able to work through stuff like that with me because I have worked through my own stuff. So the organized piece here, if you're going to buy someone, group program, course, one-to-one, like just do your research. Don't buy the shiny marketing. Make sure there's support to back it up. So, make sure that you see like, okay, if this is a group program or this is a course, like what other support are they giving you? I did a course to learn how to do the GA4, the Google Analytics dashboard stuff, and they have so much freaking support. Like they have email support and they do calls every month. So that is something I bought for information and I've gotten really great use of it. So I'm not discounting all courses. There is, just make sure that they have support. It's not just like here you go, you're on your own, bye. Because I just don't think that's, I think a lot of people do it, but look for the course that has support. Sorry, my throat. I think I started talking too fast. And I saw this beautiful quote online. It was Leap with Lisa. And she had said something to the fact of what did she say? Sorry, I don't want to mess it up. She said every time she next leveled her business, it's because she invested in something. But not every time she invested in something, she next leveled her business. So she was saying, really go for like someone who's grounded when you are looking for support. Not just the shiny promises and marketing, but look for someone who's a grounded coach who can support you. And I thought that was just so beautiful, especially just not even the fact of like, not every time she's invested, she's up leveled, but like, we just need that reminder. It's like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And I think with marketing, that happens a lot, that like the shiniest product or flashiest results like draws people in. But really stand back and be like, is this person really going to support me? Is this program really going to support me? And ask those questions. Sorry, I feel like I need a peppermint. So if you're already in a paid container, reach out to whoever you bought from. Make sure that you can like, hey, I need some more support in addition to this, and have that conversation with them. And if you aren't in a paid container or you want some actual one-to-one support, that is where I would love to offer you my free 10K content strategy audit. These calls really are just one-to-one support for you to look at your content strategy, see where's the big gap opportunity that we can kind of lean into to make this work more. Because like I said, everyone comes to me and they're like, tell me what works. And we know like the basic foundational principles of consistency, looking at your data, listening to your audience. Like those are the things that work, but like there's no like special secret template or spreadsheet I can give you. So that's why I love these one-to-one calls, because like people get like very valuable information for their business. So this week I had 2 calls on Monday and they got opposite advice. Their businesses were so different. I won't even get into all the details of it, but basically one of them, let's go all in on Facebook. This is going great. Let's do more of it. The other one was, let's go to Instagram. Like this is going great. Let's do more of this. And they were both like in different ways, different products, different services, everything was different. So, in the one call with the Facebook girl at the end, she was kind of like, well, my Instagram isn't performing well. And I'm like, but Facebook is doing great for you right now. So let's just put Instagram on the back burner and go all in here. And then later, once we get this like up and running and like blowing up, then if you want to add something, we can look at Instagram. But like both of those business owners, it just did not make sense to give them the same information. And so that is what I want for you. I want you to have one-to-one support. I feel like everyone deserves one-to-one support. Like there is nothing like it in the world. Courses, anything like those, you can definitely learn some great information, some great like how-tos. Like I literally learned how to do, dashboards in Google Analytics, and it was great. But like, if I still have a one-to-one coach, because like that is what helps me grow. That is what helps me get out of my own way. That is what helps me like sell and get full and make 20K months and all that stuff. So that is my call to you today. Is to see, I kind of went like a roundabout, I think. The thing that's stopping from the results that you want is actually doing what gets the results. And that is the hardest thing for all of us, because we're humans. We want to be safe. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want to feel, like we're getting it wrong or that someone's saying no to us or anything like that. We want it to be that someone else has the answer and they can give it to us. And that's just, it's not the thing. And that's the result. That's the thing stopping you from the results that you want. So something to chew on today. I will drop a link below for the free calls. Feel free to book those. We are getting full for August, which is great. So I just want you to be sure, if you want one of those, be sure to grab it sooner than later, because I am full with client calls. So I just do these to kind of bookend my week as something fun. But I will see y'all next week. Thank you so much for joining me. Comments, questions, drop them here. Can't wait to hear from y'all. Bye.